My next guest is a physical health expert. She is a performance coach and a host of Habits and Hustle podcasts. Welcome, Jennifer Cohen.
Thank you for having me, Sarah. This is great.
Absolutely. So, a lot of people right now are struggling with mental health in their quarantine. How can physical movement help them?
Well, I tell people I've been doing a lot of these conversations, of course, recently. We're all basically quarantined. And I really believe that what I found is a through line with people that for not just with this, but in general, that if you are moving your body and sweating, it does a lot for your happiness, your mood. It helps elevate your mood, your endorphins, your serotonin levels. And especially now when people feel isolated or they feel overwhelmed, letting out that energy or sweating, even for 15 minutes a day, really
Mhm.
tweaks and changes your outlook, your well-being, your, like I said, your mood. Just releasing that serotonin, those endorphins make a major difference. A major
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. When we're in fight or flight and are having a stress response, we want to flee or fight. We want to mobilize our bodies. So it makes total sense that moving them can have an incredible well-being effect.
Well, I think also really what happens is when you are stuck and you feel isolated, you have a choice, right? People have a choice. You can either do nothing and feel sedentary and eat bonbons all day and watch Netflix because you just don't want to deal, or you can take the alternative route, right? And this could be a really good opportunity and a chance for people who otherwise maybe even wouldn't take their fitness or their health to the next level. They can actually do that. And, you know, it's been really nice to see a lot of people have been taking advantage of all the free workouts that are out right now and all these
Yeah.
IGTV lives and meditation, free classes online for meditation, for yoga, for any kind of fitness. Because, you know, it's if you can, it's free. So a lot of times people think that will be an opportunity to kind of start, and then that gets them into a habit and a ritual and a routine to really kind of benefit their mental health overall.
Yeah, so speaking of a starting place, for someone who's never done any exercise before or maybe has been very resistant to it, how do you recommend they get started?
I think start small. I think anything that you try to do that's too much ends up kind of can spiral and not really have long lasting effects. So I say to people, you can get good results and really start making that shift mentally by doing basic movements that are just body weight exercises. You could start by doing a minute of squats, a minute of sit ups, a minute of and just walking around your block a couple of times just to kind of get your blood circulating and to get moving. And I think once you start feeling the results of it, excuse me, that in itself is a good motivator to keep on going. But I think don't try to overwhelm yourself with like becoming, having these great, these goals in mind that are really unrealistic. Pick something that's realistic. Like today, I'm going to walk around the block and I'm going to do 50 squats. Something simple like that, or
50
20.
squats sounds like a lot.
I was
Maybe
good, but
not for you.
they're body weight squats. Or you know what I say? Like a lot of little tricks, like little mental tricks. Like while you're in the kitchen and you're waiting for the water to boil, do 10 squats and do 10 leg lifts on each side. Like you know what I mean? Just so you're like getting into the habit and into the mindset of moving your body, getting yourself used to being active, right? And
Mhm.
but I really do think that you need to sweat. So that should be kind of like the instigator to actually do like I said, a 15-minute, 10-minute like circuit training. Maybe when you wake up in the morning, you before you get yourself downstairs, or you do a little minute routine of those squats and the sit-ups, and then you can do it again later just to kind of get yourself in the motion.
Yeah, so it sounds like no matter what people are doing, that it's starting it with the intention of I'm going to do some physical movement of some sort, but the ultimate goal of sweating. Is that what I'm hearing?
Exactly. And I think right now, because there's so much, you're in your house, you have a lot, if you're like me and you have kids and it's extremely hectic, it's a very easy time now sometimes to say, you know what, I don't have time for that because I have to homeschool my kids and I have to work and do everything else. But what I found and what research shows is that when you actually work out, it gives you more energy. It also structures gives you more productivity through the day because your transmitters actually are able to then basically not just give you more energy, but it lends your brain to have more productivity and more order and more focus. So then, I think when we're in this situation, we have to all have a schedule that we make ourselves to kind of stay on point. And part of that schedule should incorporate some kind of physical movement. And I think you should do that earlier than later because that gets you, that kind of starts off your day in the right direction.
Mm. Yeah, schedule has been a really common theme with all of our guests today, setting up
Mhm.
a schedule to have some routine to build this stuff in. And I love what you're saying about the neurotransmitters. It helps incentivize us to really work that sweat up to know that there's going to be a benefit, a payoff
Right.
for our mental health. So really quick, are there any resources that you have available that our viewers can access?
I mean, there's so many resources right now. I think right now we have so much information. It could be an information overload.
Mhm.
There is I would say right now you can go on YouTube. I mean, I have a book called Badass Body Goals, right? Which is a book that
Nice.
you can actually, it's a journal. You can actually track your workouts and your progress as you go while you're at home. And I mean, that's my book. But I'm not, to be honest with you, I just want people to move. They can use my stuff.
Awesome.
They can find somebody else. I think you can go on Google, you can go on YouTube and just put 5 minute ab workout, 5 minute butt workout. You can do something so simple like that, just to get started. There's also so many different, my podcast is called Habits and Hustle, which is all about the habits and routines of very successful people. But again, they don't have to listen to I could be one of many different information sources. I think really what you can do, there's so much information. Pick people that you kind of admire or like or have inspiration by, and glean into them. Like find information from them. I think right now there's, like I said, so much information. The question is what you want to do. Like meditation right now has really been a big thing, and there's like a lot of these meditation apps or free meditation, like I said, on YouTube or on Instagram that you can just take
Yes.
part of, or like apps like Calm or Headspace, or there's so many different things.
There's so many easy ways to get started. Thank you so much. This is very inspiring, Jennifer. I'm going to go get an exercise in after we wrap up this interview. Thank you so much for being with us today and sharing these tips with our viewers.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Sarah.